Is China really cannibalizing the EU car industry, or are we seeing the collapse of Europe's auto dominance? Could this be a turning point for the industry that once led the world? For decades, Germany, and by extension Europe, held the crown as the automotive capital of the world. Brands like Volkswagen, Mercedes, and BMW represented cutting-edge innovation, engineering, and prestige. But today, that dominance is under attack. And it's not just because the world is shifting toward electric vehicles. It's because China has entered the game faster, cheaper, and more aggressive than anyone anticipated. Take Volkswagen, for example. It's now facing the prospect of layoffs and even factory closures, a shocking reality for a company that has been the backbone of German industry. And Volkswagen isn't alone. These struggles point to a much larger issue: the European car industry is losing ground to China's rising electric vehicle giants. What's the root cause? China's state-backed EV industry has exploded, producing cheaper, high-tech vehicles at a pace that Europe is struggling to match. Brands like BYD are entering the European market with models that are more affordable and highly competitive. And now, they're not just exporting cars, they're planning to manufacture in Europe too, especially in countries like Hungary, where labor is cheaper. This undercuts the traditional European auto giants and accelerates the decline of their factories in Germany, France, and Italy. So how is the EU responding? By introducing massive tariffs. The EU, along with the US and Canada, is imposing steep tariffs up to 45% on Chinese-made EVs. The goal? To protect local car manufacturers from being outpriced by these cheaper imports. But here's the catch: those very tariffs might backfire. Industry leaders like Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares warned that these protectionist measures could push Chinese companies to establish even more factories in Europe. Essentially, the tariffs could end up expediting the shift in production away from Western Europe, especially as Chinese automakers set up shop in low-cost Eastern European countries. The industry itself is divided on the issue. France is fully behind the tariffs, seeing them as essential to protect their local carmakers. Germany, on the other hand, has been resistant. They know that their car industry is deeply intertwined with China's, and tariffs could hurt more than help. In fact, Germany voted against the EU's tariff measures, showing just how fractured the bloc is on this issue. But let's look at what's happening on the ground. At this year's Paris Motor Show, Chinese EV brands were front and center. 9 major Chinese companies unveiled new models, showcasing their determination to dominate the European market. These aren't just cheap cars, they're sophisticated, advanced electric vehicles aimed directly at European consumers. Meanwhile, companies like BMW and Volkswagen are calling for delays on the EU's ambitious 2035 deadline to ban new combustion engine cars. They argue they need more time to make the transition to electric. But will that delay help, or is it just pushing off the inevitable? What we're witnessing is a clash of titans: Europe, with its long history of automotive excellence, versus China, with its rapid rise in electric vehicle technology and production. The European car industry is at a critical juncture. Tariffs might buy them time, but without a significant leap in innovation, they could end up losing the very market they're trying to protect. Chinese automakers like BYD and Geely aren't slowing down. In fact, they're finding ways to build and sell cars within Europe, bypassing tariffs and driving up competition. European automakers are now partnering with their Chinese rivals, an ironic twist in this battle for dominance. So even with tariffs in place, China's influence on the European market is only growing. Is the EU doing enough to protect its car industry, or are these tariffs just a band-aid on a much larger issue? Can Europe keep up with the speed of China's EV revolution, or are we seeing the decline of Europe's automotive legacy? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.